Hello there, you amazing viewers and subscribers, and welcome to a brand new Doctor Who related video for today. So in this video, I'm going to be talking what is my favourite decade out of Doctor Who completely. So my favourite all-time decade for Doctor Who has got to be the 1970s. Yes, you've heard that correctly. The 1970s, the kind of decade that brings us some good stories from the Master, from the Third Doctor, from the Fourth Doctor, with Jo Grant, with Leela. Fantastic companion Leela is. Oh God, she's feisty. I love Leela. Leela's just absolutely fantastic. As well as some recurring villains like Daleks and Cybermen, and of course some new creatures like Cygons and stuff. So during this kind of decade, we had some good 10 seasons out of the 1970s, with season 7, season 8, season 9, season 10, season 11, season 12, season 13, season 14, season 15, season 16, and of course season 17. So, of course, with 10 great seasons coming out of the 1970s, and of course with us having 5 of these out on Blu-ray already, I have to say, some stuff are absolutely fantastic out of the 1970s era. So I'm going to talk about what I prefer from the 1970s and why the 1970s is my favourite decade out of Doctor Who. Following the next decade out of the 1970s is, of course, the 1980s, which is my second favourite decade for Doctor Who. Then, of course, we have the 1960s for another good decade, and then the 2010s as another decade, and then, of course, the Wonderless Years, and then the mid-2000s with the return of Series 1 and up to Series 4. So, what makes the 1970s such a fantastic sort of decade for Doctor Who? Now, I'm going to talk about each of these seasons and what each of these bring in and stuff. So, the first season of the 1970s is a big one. Now, this was the very first time Doctor Who went into colour. And, of course, we had Jon Pertwee as the Third Doctor. We also have Unit in this season. Excuse me, we also have Unit, who was actually introduced in the Troughton Saw era in the Invasion. So we do have Unit, but we have Sergeant Benton, we have Liz Shaw, and of course, the Brigadier Alistair Gordon Lethbridge duet. But season 7 also is the ground season, because it was the first season to use the Autons that have recurred quite a few times in Doctor Who history. We have Silurians, who also recurs, and then of course we have the Ambassadors of Death, which is like and then of course we got the fantastic very first Doctor Who's kind of story to set in the parallel universe, known as Inferno. So that's basically season 7. Season 7, for me, it's one of the best seasons out of the 70s. If I was going to rank every single season of the 70s, that should be a good video to do. Rank each season of Doctor Who out of the 1970s for my favourite decade. Yeah, that will be Sunday's video. Yeah, that would definitely be Sunday's video. Anyway, then of course we go into season 8, which is the first season to feature Roger Delgado as the Master, and mwah, what a fantastic season that is, with Tell the Autons, Mind of Evil, Claws of Axels, Connery in Space, and the Daemons. The weak story for me in season 8 is definitely Connery in Space, but of course we have the return of the Autons in this one, and the Master becomes a proper recurring villain for the Jon Pertwee era, played by Roger Delgado. And this is the first season to introduce Captain Mike Yates to Unit, and as well as Jo Grant, who becomes the Doctor's basically companion. And the storytelling in season 8 I absolutely enjoy. Season 8 is just a good one. Season 9, 1972, we have Day of the Daleks. Is that a good story? It's kind of hit and miss. It depends what version you watch. If you watch the original version, if you watch the good version with the extended version that's on the DVD and the special edition, then you get a thumbs up if you've seen that one instead of watching the original version of Day of the Daleks. Then of course we have The Curse of Paladon, which is the return of the Ice Warriors since the 1960s. And yeah, the Ice Warriors are pretty cool in this story, and we have Alpha Centauri in this season as well, in that story as well. Then of course we go to the Sea Devils. This is our planet. I really love the Sea Devils. I cannot say enough. And it's also another season that brings back the Master in the Sea Devils as well. Then, of course, we go to the Mutants, which I am trying to go back and rewatch. I really am, because I really don't like the Mutants. I have said this a number of times. I've watched it like twice and I keep getting up to episode 2. I'm trying to push myself to go past episode 2 so I can do a proper review on that story and see what my opinion on it. But at the moment I just get so bored in it. And then, of course, we have the Time Monster. Again, the Time Monster, I really enjoy it. It's another great Doctor versus Master story. And, of course, we also have Kronos and the is it Aztecs? Atlas, something like that. The Lost City of Atlas or something like that. I don't really give a damn about that. Then, of course, we're going to season 10, which has the 3 Doctors, Carnival of Monsters, Frontier of Space, Planet of the Daleks, and the Green Death. Now, this is the second best season of the 1970s. I absolutely love season 10. Why? Because it brings back the first Doctor, and it brings back the second Doctor, and the battle against a Time Lord known as Omega for the very first time. I absolutely love the 3 Doctors. It's absolutely fantastic. Season 11 does kind of drop for the Pertwee era. Season 11, for me, it is the weakest Jon Pertwee season out of it. Now, when I was ranking all of the Doctor Who seasons, that's a different matter. But if I was going to rank every single season out of the Jon Pertwee era, it would probably be season 11, season 9, and then, of course, we go to 8, 7, and then 10. But season 11 is also the first season to have Elizabeth Sladen as Sarah Jane Smith, as well as the first season to feature the Santarans. And then, of course, we have in there Invasion of Dinosaurs, Death of the Daleks, The Monsters of Peladon, and, of course, Planet of the Spiders, which is Jon Pertwee's finale as the 3rd Doctor. And Jon Pertwee goes out with a big bang as the Doctor, and I absolutely do enjoy that one. And then, of course, we're coming into my favourite era of the show, the Tom Baker era. I mean, come on. Would you like a jelly, baby? I just really adore this year. Season 12 is just a fantastic season, and I absolutely love it. It has got Robot, Ark in Space, Santonic Experiment, Genesis of the Daleks, and Revenge of the Seven. All 5 good stories, and I absolutely love every single one of them. Season 13, I absolutely love this season from 1975 to 1976, which also has Terror of the Zygons, the Planet of Evil, the Pyramids of Mars, the Android Invasion, the Brain of Morbius, and of course the Seas of Doom. Some fantastic stories in season 13, which is my second favourite season out of Doctor Who in general, but it's my all-time favourite Tom Baker season. And then, of course, we go into season 14, which has the Mask of Mandragora, the Hand of Fear, the Deadly Assassin, which is the return of the Master, played by Peter Pratt, because Roger Delgado sadly passed away in 1973 after season 10 was actually broadcast. He actually died in a car crash in Turkey. But we have the return of the Master, played by Peter Pratt, who is basically known as the Decaying Master, because he's literally melted, his face shrimples and stuff. Then, of course, we have the introduction story to my all-time favourite 1970s companion, Leela. I mean, come on, this woman is very good with a knife. I mean, when you see her literally going, "Shall I kill him now, Doctor, with the knife?" I absolutely love Leela. She's absolutely fantastic. She's, to be honest with you, she's the crush I've got on a Doctor Who companion. Her and Ace are the 2 best companions I literally do have a little bit of a crush on. They are feisty, they're fantastic, and that's basically it. Feisty women are quite good. Leela is definitely feisty with the knife and stuff. I really do enjoy Leela. And then, of course, we go to the Robots of Death, which is a very murder mystery story, and it's just fantastic. And, of course, we go to the Talons of Wing Chiang. And the 4th Doctor goes, "I do hope that girl Leela's in danger." I absolutely love season 14. Season 14, another good season for Tom Baker. Then we go into season 15, which is the first season to feature the Doctor's very own friend, K9, the robotic dog. And I think I've got... Yes, I do, actually. There we go. As you can see, I've got K9 with me. I absolutely adore K9. He's one of the best companions. Unfortunately, my one's lost the ears and the back piece, but I absolutely do enjoy K9. He's a good companion. And then, also in this season, we have... How can I say this? We have a fantastic story known as Horror at Framework. Nobody survives apart from the Doctor and Leela. Then, of course, we go to the Invisible Enemy. And then after the Invisible Enemy, I think it's Images of Vandal. Then the Sun Makers, Underworld, and which is very, very bad. And then, of course, the Invasion of Time. And then Leela departs the Doctor with K9 Mark 1. And then we go into season 16 with K9 Mark 2 and the Doctor's new companion, Romana Landalunda. Yes, we have Mary Tam playing Romana. Now, Mary Tam is my least favourite kind of character, 70s companion Romana one is. I think I really want to start out some more screen time. I just really do enjoy this season and everything. But I have to say, season 16 is my least favourite Tom Baker season, because out of all the Tom Baker stuff, this one, I don't know what it is about season 16. I think it drops in certain aspects of it, where season 17 picks it back up. But when you've got the best seasons like 15, 14, 13 and 12, season 16 does basically drop for me. But it does have the Repulse Operation, which is a kind of a good story. I have gone back and rewatched this story. We have my all-time favourite story of the season, known as The Pirate Planet. I absolutely adore The Pirate Planet. This is Tom Baker and Douglas Adams at their best. Not the best, because the best is The City of Death and, of course, Shada. But this is them at their best of the season. I absolutely do love The Pirate Planet. It's just a fantastic sort of story. I absolutely love it. Then, of course, we go to Stones of Blood, which is my second favourite story of the season. The Androids of Tara, not so much. The Power of Kroll. I know it's not another sci-fi guy favourite story of a Tom Baker story, but I've said I don't really mind it. I don't think it's that bad as it is. I just think, yeah, okay, it has got some bad direction with the camera and stuff, and the director, but it's still a pretty much enjoyable story. And I love the way when we have the Kroll smashing through the kind of underwater base and these tentacles and everything. I really do enjoy that. And then of course we go to the Armageddon Factor. I absolutely love the Armageddon Factor. I think it's just a great story as well. And that's it for season 16. And then of course we go to the final season of the 1970s, which is known as season 17, which basically has Destiny of the Daleks, City of Death, one of the best stories for Tom Baker's run. We have Creature from the Pit, Horns of Nimon, the Creature from the Pit, we have Nightmare of Eden, then the Haunts of Nimon, and then of course Shada. I really do love this season. If I was going to rank every single season of Tom Baker, it would probably go 16, 17, 15, then 14, 12, and then 13 for Tom Baker for the 1970s. I absolutely adore the 1970s. So that's every single story from the 1970s, going from Spearhead from Space down to Shada. And the 70s is just a very popular kind of era for me. I always go back and we watch something from the 70s quite a lot, really. I don't really go back and watch stuff from the 60s as often. It's mainly 70s and 80s I always go back and rewatch. The 80s is my second favourite kind of era, because that has Sir McCoy in it. Sir McCoy is my second favourite Doctor. But the 70s, for me, it is the best kind of decade out of all of Doctor Who. I really think, even though some of the episodes are quite bad during the Pertwee and Tom Baker eras, but I really think I would absolutely rather go and watch a 1970 season than either a series 2 or series 3 episode with David Tennant's Doctor. I'd rather go and watch a 70s instead of them. If I was going to say what are the best stories of the 70s, now if I was going to say this, I'm saying this quite now because this is the 5 best stories. City of Death, we have Genesis of the Daleks, the 3 Doctors, Spearhead from Space, and then the 5th one, which is probably going to shock some people, as I'll have to say, is of course Inferno. Inferno is literally, that is the 5 best stories from the 1970s. Tom Baker and John Pertwee's Doctors are fantastic in the 70s. I just really love them. My favourite companion of the 70s is Leela. I really think she's a bit hot. I think she's feisty. I would love to see her return, Louise Jameson, but I know she's a bit old now, so that kind of crush will kind of fade. But I love the younger version of Louise Jameson as Leela. I really do like Leela. Really do. So, this is why the 19s... My favourite decade is actually the 1970s. Nothing wrong with that. What is your favourite decade out of Doctor Who? Thank you for watching this video. Please do like, subscribe and share. And join me for more awesome Doctor Who content. Enjoy and have a great day tomorrow. Unfortunately, there'll be no video tomorrow because I'm doing a full day at work. Yeah, not by choice. But there will be definitely a video coming out on Sunday. So stay tuned for the Sunday episode of my Doctor Who channel. Thank you for watching and have a great day.